Welcome back to AFT Die Season 9. It is round 9. It is Monday, the 2nd of June, 2025. Match of the round this round is St Kilda versus Geelong. It's St Kilda versus Geelong third on the ladder. Okay, let's get into it. It's Essendon versus Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. Let's go the first quarter of this start of round 9. First quarter's nearly done. And it's completed, and it's 1 point the difference at quarter time. Port Adelaide are 24, Essendon 23. Second quarter underway. We've got Essendon second, Port Adelaide 6. Second quarter completed. Essendon have kicked 4-5 to Port Adelaide 2-2. At half time, it is Essendon by 14 points, 52 to 38. Let's go the second half of this game. Port Adelaide are still trying to get another win to keep in touch with the top four. Third quarter's completed and Port Adelaide kick 4-2 to Essendon 1-3, and it is 3 points the difference to Port Adelaide, 64 to 61 at three-quarter time. Let's go the last quarter to see who will win this game, and if it's Essendon, they will go on top of the ladder just for now, or Port Adelaide will go near top four. But it was Essendon by 4 points. They kicked 4-3 to Port Adelaide, 3-2 in that last quarter. What a tight finish. Essendon final score 12-16-88 to Port Adelaide 12-12-84. Okay, let's get stuck into the second game. It's Richmond versus GWS Giants at the MCG. Both these sides are in the bottom four. And GWS Giants, they've kicked 6-4 to Richmond, 1-4 in that first quarter. So Richmond are down by 30 points, 10 to 40. Second quarter underway. And the second quarter is completed. Richmond have kicked 4-3 to GWS Giants 2-3. And it is 18 points the difference. Giants way 55 to 37. Let's go the second half. Giants, they need a win to keep in touch with the 8. Third quarter completed, and the Giants have kicked 2-5 to Richmond 2-2. And at three-quarter time, it is 21 points the difference. Giants way 72 to 51. Let's go the last quarter of this game. If it's the Giants, they will go up to 11th. And it was the Giants by 23 points. Very even in the last quarter. Giants kicked 1-3 to Richmond 1-1. And Richmond have lost another one. Final score, Richmond 8-10-58 to Giants 11-15-81. All right, let's get stuck into the third game. It's West Coast Eagles versus Hawthorn at Optus Stadium. West Coast, they need a win to get into the top 8. But first quarter is completed. Hawthorn have come out. They've kicked 6 goals to West Coast 1-5. We've seen in previous games that the team that goes out strong in the first quarter normally wins the game. Let's see if that's the case again. West Coast have kicked 5-1 to Hawthorn, 3-4 in that second quarter, and it is 18 points the difference at halftime. Hawthorn's way 60 to 42. Let's go to the third quarter in this game. Third quarter has been completed, and West Coast, they've kicked 2-4 to Hawthorn 1-6, and it is 14 points the difference. Hawthorn's way 72 to 58. Hawthorn will jump into the 8 after this game if they win. And Hawthorn have won by 17 points into that last quarter. They kick 4-5 to West Coast 4-2. And West Coast final score 12-12-84 to Hawthorn 14-17-101. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Melbourne versus Carlton at the MCG. Carlton 14th, Melbourne 5th. Melbourne needs to win to to have any chance of making the top 8. Close quarter. Carlton kicked 1-6 to Melbourne 1-5, and Carlton by 1 point at this stage. Second quarter underway. And the second quarter has completed. We've got Carlton kicking 5-5 to Melbourne 3-3 in that second quarter. And it's Carlton by 15 points, 47-32. Let's go to the second half of this game. It's been close games so far. Third quarter has completed. Melbourne have kicked 5-1 to Carlton 4-3. And it is 11 points of difference Carlton's way, 74-63. Last quarter underway. Who will win this game? And Carlton have won a close one by 4 points. They kicked 5-1 to Melbourne 6-2 in that last quarter, but Carlton got over the line. So they get their 4th win of the season. Melbourne final score 15-11, 101 to Carlton 15-15, 105. All right. Next game, North Melbourne versus Gold Coast Suns at Marvel Stadium. We've got North Melbourne and Gold Coast 14th and 15th. First quarter has completed. North Melbourne have kicked 5-2 to Gold Coast 4-3, 27. Gold Coast had a good win last round. Second quarter has been completed, and Gold Coast have kicked 1-4 to North Melbourne 1-1. And at halftime, North Melbourne are up by 2 points, 39-37. Let's go to the second half of this game. Both teams are looking for their 4th win. Third quarter, Gold Coast have kicked 3 goals, 3 to North Melbourne, 2 goals, 4. And at three-quarter time, Gold Coast are up by 3 points, 58-55. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. And Gold Coast have kicked 6 goals, 5 to North Melbourne, 2 goals, 6. And Gold Coast have won by 26 points. All right. Final score, North Melbourne 10-13, 73 to Gold Coast 14-15, 99. Okay, the next game is Western Bulldogs versus Collingwood, Marvel Stadium. The game's underway. The first quarter has been completed, and the Bulldogs have kicked 2 goals, 5 to Collingwood 2-1. So Bulldogs last on the ladder, Collingwood are 10th. Bulldogs are looking for their 2nd win of the season. And the Bulldogs have kicked 6 goals, 5 to Collingwood 5-4. So at halftime, Western Bulldogs are up by 11 points, 58-47. Second half underway. And the Bulldogs have kicked 6 goals, 5 to Collingwood 3-1. Last quarter's underway for this game. And the Bulldogs have got their 2nd win of the season. They kicked 1-3 to Collingwood 1-2 in that last quarter. So the Bulldogs have got another win. The 2 wins for the season. That pushes Adelaide Crows on the bottom of the ladder. Western Bulldogs 15-18, 108 to Collingwood 11-8, 74. All right, let's go to the match of the round, St Kilda versus Geelong and Marvel Stadium. Let's go this first quarter. First quarter's nearly completed. And it has St Kilda have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Geelong, 2 goals, 2. So quarter time, St Kilda are up by 23 points, 37-14. Second quarter underway. Second quarter's been completed. Geelong have kicked 5 goals, 6 to St Kilda, 3 goals, 2. And at halftime, St Kilda are up by 7 points, 57-50. Let's go to the second half of this game. This game's probably going to go down to the wire. St Kilda have kicked 5 goals, 5 to Geelong, 4-3, and it is 15 points the difference St Kilda's way, 92 to 77. Let's go to the last quarter to see who will win. If it's St Kilda, they'll go on top. If it's Geelong, then they will go on top. It was St Kilda by 19 points over Geelong. St Kilda, final score 16-12, 108 to Geelong, 12-17, 89. All right, what a match of a round. So the second last game's Fremantle versus Sydney. Fremantle third on the ladder. They need another win to hopefully go that top 2 position. 12 goals were scored in the first quarter. Freo 6-5 to Sydney 6-3. Let's go to the second quarter in this game. Second quarter has been completed, and Freo have kicked 4 goals, 4 to Sydney, 1-4 halftime, 20 points the difference Freo's way, 69 to 49. Third quarter underway, and it has been completed. Freo, third quarter, 6-5 to Sydney, 5-3. And Fremantle are up by 28 points. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. It looks like Freo's going to beat the Sydney Swans at Optus Stadium, and Freo have won by 21 points. And that Fremantle, they are sitting third on the ladder on 28 points. Final score, Fremantle 19-19, 133 to Sydney, 16-16, 112. All right, let's go to the last game of the round. It's Adelaide Crows bottom versus Brisbane Lions, who are just outside the 8. Let's go to the first quarter of this match. And Adelaide Crows have kicked 2 goals, 2 to Brisbane Lions, 1 goal, 3. And it is 5 points of difference to the Adelaide Crows. Crows need to win to get off the bottom of the ladder, and Brisbane need to win to get into the 8. And Brisbane have kicked 6 goals, 1 to Adelaide, 3-1 in that second quarter. And at halftime, Brisbane are up by 13 points, 46 to 33. Let's go to the second half. See who will win this game. Could be close. We've got Brisbane after halftime have kicked 5 goals, 6 to Adelaide, 2-5. And it's 32 points the difference Brisbane's way, 82 to 50. It looks like Brisbane will win this match. It's going into the last quarter of this game. And Brisbane have kicked 5 goals, 3 to Adelaide, 4-1. And Brisbane have won by 40 points, the highest winning margin of the round against the bottom side. Adelaide Crows, final score 11-9, 75 to Brisbane, 17-13, 115. So that pushes Brisbane up to just outside the 8, and they've got the best percentage in the competition. Well, that concludes round 9, Monday the 2nd of June, 2025. We've got Swans, number 1 defence team, 11th. Gold Coast Suns, number 1 defence team, who are in position 9, and Essendon have got the longest winning margin for the season with 6 wins. 6 wins. Well, that equals St Kilda's at the start of the season. But St Kilda are at position 1 with the minor premiership at the moment, and the Adelaide Crows are in the wooden spoon position. So the top 4 is St Kilda, Essendon, Fremantle, Geelong, and then the remaining 4 teams are Brisbane Lions, Melbourne, Port Adelaide, and Hawthorn in the 8. Well, that concludes round 9. We'll see you next time.